needs a refresh or full-on makeover from time to time, and this even applies to our contractor, Chris McGimsie.
In our home, we've been slowly working away room by room, and we're down to the last room in the house is the dining room. As you can see, I already have a table in here, and this was the centerpiece of this room. I want to get this right. So I purchased these antique table legs at a store in New York, and then I had this custom tabletop made by a store here in town. It's the exact shape and size of the room, which is something I really need to get right. So just a little design tip, you don't necessarily need to have all your chairs match the table. We have two different ones on the end, and the ones in the middle I think are very complementary to the whole set. This mid-century credenza was the steal of a lifetime. I actually bartered for this from a client that was trying to get rid of it on one of my job sites. Because the room is only 10 feet wide, the width of this was necessary. This is only 18 inches in depth. I think it fits this space perfectly, and it works really well to store all of our vintage glassware. We're fortunate enough to have 9-foot ceilings in this home and beautiful original crown moldings and trim. The only thing is we haven't found the perfect light yet. All the walls in this house were painted the same color when I first moved in, just for simplicity. So the walls of this room are definitely going to get a bold change. Some of the art is going, but more importantly, we want to focus on this wall here. We want this wall to be a focal point in the room. We want something that's really going to pop. So we're either going to do a combination of mirror or art. Still deciding. We'll have to see.
I bet it's going to look amazing. So here with some tips on creating a bold dining room. It's Chris McGimsie with me in studio. We're already drooling a little bit over the before. I cannot wait to see the after.
It's amazing.
It's going to be bold. And so you're going to give us some tips right now on how to create a bold space. Why should you make a bold statement?
Well, because first of all, the home is very small, and we wanted to define the dining room from the rest of the space, right? The other colors were kind of light, so we picked a really bold color to contrast the rest of the house, but also to kind of differentiate that space. That this is going to be the dining room. So we picked a really bold color to set the tone and kind of break the space up.
So a lot of people are they're not even doing dining rooms anymore. No. How come it's important for you guys to have a dining room? I like having a dining room too.
Well, I think it's a special place. Like, we eat in the kitchen day in and day out, but the dining room, we've reserved it for special occasions. So with the boldness, we kind of wanted to create like a moody, kind of romantic vibe. Yeah. And we've had this creative space that we want to be able to sit there, entertain our family and friends.
Oh, I think that's beautiful. You got a big family too, right?
Huge.
Your second point is balancing the room. So what do you mean by that?
Well, because we picked such a bold color, we want to have a color that kind of anchored the whole space. So one of the colors that we anchored is really popular right now is antique brass or brush brass. Okay. So we have all these little accents you'll see throughout the space, and because the bold is so dark, we want to have frames that kind of popped off the wall, and all the little accessories have those brass accessories. Okay,
so you're going to see that repeated in the after, and I'm going to show you the after momentarily. But first, adding interest and personality to the room. Why is this important, and how did you achieve that?
Well, I find in every household that there's conflicting personalities, right?
Right.
So, right? Yeah. Everybody has opinions, and right? So, and I have a very strong opinion. I'm a very strong opinionated guy, and my girlfriend has her style and opinion. So we want to find a space, find that middle ground for us.
Yes.
Right? That reflects also our personalities. So the space reflects our personalities, and we like to travel a lot. We like to collect antiques, so it has a bit of our travel accessories, some stuff we found, you know, near and far away. So it very speaks of who we are.
That can be tough, though, when both of you, because you are in the industry. I can at least with my husband say, well, you know, I host Cityline and I know a thing or two. And then
what's he going to say? Nothing,
okay,
right?
sure, we'll pick your wallpaper. But for you guys both probably have a very strong opinion.
We do.
So you got to figure out how that all works together. I think it's time to see.
Let's see it.
Your dining room makeover finale. Take a look.
By far the greatest impact in this room has to be the wall color. I absolutely love how this turned out. It's called mallard green, but even though it is green, there's a lot of blue tones in it. And these tones have kind of set the pace for this room here, pulled together a lot of these warm colors, and all the accessories that we're able to find from the vintage shops, from classified sites, and even antique markets like the vintage cutlery, our mid-century modern glass jug, and all these little lights here. But this type of style, it's a process. It's not like you can just go right into the store and buy everything. It's gonna take a bit of time, but it's not gonna also break the bank. This mirror is absolutely massive. Now I'd say next to the wall color, the mirror is by far the most dramatic thing that we've created in this space. When I was originally shopping for mirrors this big, I started to realize how expensive mirrors can get. So I decided to make this myself. Looking around for glass, I was able to find a nice antique finish, and also I was able to customize the shape of the mirror, which I think works perfectly in this space. We changed up the art in this room. Now, if you notice a couple pieces that flank either side of the mirror, these bamboo framed palms, we actually got those this summer at an antique market that we regularly visit in Michigan. It's a great spot. We look forward to it every year. Big pieces of art are also really expensive, so I'm fortunate enough that my girlfriend is very talented and very artistic. She actually made this piece of art. She recycled an existing frame that we had, spray painted the same brass that we have throughout the space, and then was able to create this really cool piece of abstract art, pulling together all the colors and tones that are in the room.
That's amazing.
Really happy.
I feel like it kind of helps when you have a partner who's an artist.
Exactly.
Like, is she actually an artist, or did she just create this?
I think, was just born a naturally artistic, creative person, and she went to school for art, so
that's
it's in the blood.
amazing, and it's a beautiful,
Yeah, it's really
a beautiful
good.
makeover.
Come over for dinner.
I sure will.